Russian journalist Maria Ponomarenko jailed for highlighting Mariupol killings.
Here's a summary of the article.
Russian journalist Maria Ponomarenko has been jailed for 6 years for posting on social media about a deadly attack by Russian warplanes on a theater in Ukraine. Ponomarenko was detained last April, weeks after the bombing, for posting that Russian warplanes had carried out the attack even though the Russian Defense Ministry had denied it. She is one of a growing number of Russian dissidents jailed for criticizing the war in Ukraine. Civilians were seeking shelter inside the theater when it was bombed by Russian fighter jets. Amnesty International said it was a war crime carried out by Russian forces, and the International Monitoring Group OSCE said it had not received any indication to back up Russian allegations that a Ukrainian battalion had blown up the theater. Prosecutors said Maria Ponomarenko had committed a criminal offense brought in within days of the invasion of spreading, knowingly false information, about the Russian armed forces. In December, one of Russia's most prominent opposition figures, Ilya Yashin, was jailed for 8.5 years for spreading fake news about the military after he went on YouTube to condemn the killing of hundreds of Ukrainian civilians by Russian occupying forces in Bucha, near Kyiv.
This post received a score of 41,000, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
If you didn't read the article, she was arrested last year in April, weeks after the Mariupol theater bombings. She is being jailed for fake news when she stated that it happened, when the Ministry of Defense said it didn't.
Anyone with common sense would know that jailing her would prove her to be correct.
That does not matter to them. Russia is full of people who know the truth. They don't care if you know the truth. Their goal is to simply make sure that talking about it becomes impossible. They want you to accept the lie even if you know the truth. They're making an example of her. Russia. The triumph of inertia. Probably the best explanation I've found for why there aren't mass protests across Russia. It can be described as a form of learned helplessness.
That article being from 2017 scared the hell out of me. It's been 5.5 years since that assessment, and that war in the Donbass they references is a lot bigger now. Holy shit. Russia is fundamentally broken. It's been a failed state for a while now. We celebrated the collapse of the Soviet Union, but this should be a lesson that if you do not focus on the rebuilding, you create a toxic state that will do damage far beyond its borders. What came out of that collapse was corruption, cronyism, and the rise of a ruling class that was bitter and resentful at the geopolitical rivals of the Soviet Union and made their life's mission one of retaliation for that grudge and self-enrichment to the detriment of their own citizens.
I don't even think the ruling class particularly cares about settling grudges so much as this is a convenient excuse to feed to the people while that ruling class robs them blind. Oligarch. Why, yes, I am stealing from your pocket and taking food off your family's table, but, really, it's that guy over there that's the actual problem. The West, NATO, WTF.
Mariupol is going to be an opera of nightmares when liberated.
If they didn't do everything to clean it up already.
They erected a 50-feet-high fence around the theater that has pictures of the front, sides and back of the theater printed on it, and have been cleaning up the rubble for a while now. Last I heard, they were filling the entire site with concrete. They can't be fucked cleaning it, just pouring concrete into the basement and plan on building over it. When liberated, the whole place will be taken apart pebble by pebble, and whatever remains will be catalogued. Filth. They are filth. Boots of the First World needs them scraped off now and for all.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.